Welcome! I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing products from Stampin' Up. I made this gorgeous card with products from Stampin' Up. I sell these products and also a few items to make crafting more convenient. I have the free detailed directions for this project on my website. I'll have links for some of the products to be taken to my online store, but some of the products are not yet available. They are in the new January to June mini catalog. So the mini catalog and the celebration catalog, yay, start January 5th. If you want a copy of these catalogs, email me and I will send these off to you. On my website, there will be a link for the products that are in the annual catalog, but the rest of the products are from a new Sand and Sea suite. And I absolutely love everything in this whole suite, and I used nearly all of it on this card. With this suite, you can stamp and then cut things out with the die, and then emboss it in the folder. It all works together. You'll see what I mean. So on my website, I do have a link for the suite, but you'll have to wait until January 5th to click that link. So I'm using Friends Are Like Seashells and the Seaside Seashells dies. Boy, that's like a tongue twister, isn't it? I am using these gorgeous Opal Rounds, and you can see I've used up almost all of them. I've got more on the way. The Designer Series paper. The Designer Series paper has all these beautiful designs. One side has these soft watercolor washes, and the other has shell patterns and polka dots. And the embossing folder. And this gorgeous pearlescent paper. And I'm adding to that suite the Stitched So Sweetly dies. I'll be using the number 7 and the number 8 dies from that set. My ink is Sahara Sand, Soft Suede, and the Whisper White Craft stamping pad. I'm using Very Vanilla and Seaside Spray for my card base. I have a piece of the Designer Series paper, piece of Whisper White that is about 2.5 by 4, piece of that pearlescent paper. Let me see if I can catch that shininess. Yeah, I think you can see the shininess there. For this card, I'm using the Seaside Spray ribbon and another piece, 5 1/4 by 4 of Seaside Spray, and a piece the same size to go on the inside. I'm going to stamp the inside. I'm going to stamp, this is a sea star. Stamp that on there. You could stamp any one of the shells down here. And my inside greeting is, I'm so happy I found you. And that follows the outside greeting. Friends are like seashells. You collect them along the way. I'm also going to stamp the pearlescent paper. And there's a trick to that. So let me move those out of the way. I'm going to take the largest die and turn it cut side down. I'm going to put this shell in that matching spot. I believe that's called a whelk. I'm not sure. And then on the same sheet, there's actually 2 of these scallop shells that are about the same size. I'm using the darker of the 2, and I'm setting that in place. And then there's a larger scallop shell. Trying to get them as close as I can to the correct shape there. And these, and set it down very carefully. And then pick those up with a D block, all at the same time. Then I'm going to use the Sahara Sand ink to stamp this. And I do want to set this aside to dry. Then I will be cutting out all those die pieces. So I have Friends Are Like Seashells. I have my Designer Series paper. I'll run these through the machine. And then I'll cut my shells. So I'm going to put these in place, and they should fit perfectly. And run that through the machine. And they come out all in one piece. I was going through all kinds of trauma figuring out how to line those all up. Both the stamping with the die cut, and then the neat thing about this set is you can actually put these pieces in the embossing folder. And because they cut out in one piece, you can position them on the embossing folder, and that fits really easily. So run this through. And don't those come out beautifully? Just gorgeous. Then we'll run this one through. And doesn't that come out beautifully? But I want to enhance the embossing a little bit more. So I'm using the craft ink and a sponge dauber. And I'm going to be covering up the center, so I'm kind of patting it off here in the center. And just rubbing it across. And this picks up the raised areas. And I think that looks just gorgeous. And then we're ready to put it together. So I'm just going to turn this over and put some adhesive on the short sides in the middle. And then I'm putting one end on, wrapping it across the front and around to the back, and just snip that off. And then I'm going to add adhesive. I think the liquid glue works really nicely on the embossing folders because it doesn't press down. So I'm going to put this on my card front. Now you could use dimensionals on every one of these layers. I'm doing most of them flat so it goes through the post office easily. I'm so happy I found you. Putting this on the inside. Adding dimensionals to the back of the greeting, so I am popping that one. And this goes on the Designer Series paper. Then this goes on the card front. Then we're going to do some fussy cutting, but it's really just a matter of cutting these off from the bits that are holding them together. These shells go on with dimensionals, and I want to kind of enhance the layers here. So I'm going over the top there, tuck this one between this one off to the side here, and then these opal rounds. So gorgeous. Now these are kind of bumpy for the mail, so I put a layer of cardstock on top of this card to help it go through the post office. And that's it. So pretty. I'm so glad that I found you, my friend. Happy New Year. This video should be going out on New Year's Eve. If you're one of my regular customers, you should have received your catalogs. If you would like one, let me know and I'll get one in the mail to you. Check back on the 5th, and you can get all my labels and case inserts and designer series paper cards, all kinds of resources for you. Here is the web address for this project, where you'll find the free detailed directions and links for the products I used. Just click the links and you'll be taken to my online store at Stampin' Up! Also on my website, you'll find a shop button. Under shop, you'll find products from Bev, shopping strategies, frequent shopper points, a link to my online store at Stampin' Up! When you click products from Bev, you'll find information about sharing my current products notebook in Evernote, and taggers. I started making taggers when all of those layering shapes came out, and it was so hard for me to figure out which one I used and how to tell somebody else which one I used. So I made taggers. Each tagger has the name of the dies, the item number, how many in the set, and each tagger has the size of that shape. I also sell my cardstock sampler, fine tip glue pen replacement tips, and large and small reclosable bags that I use for designer series paper, both the 6x6 and the 12x12. And I have a link for my friend's bow maker. Under inspiration, you can scroll my projects, look at the latest post, find out about the basics, which I've designed especially for new stampers, and techie tips. Under getting organized, you'll find links to stamp case slips, product labels, large labels, case inserts, ink refill cases, lots of coloring tools, a stamp pad storage solution for practically no money, catalog tabs, a quick reference, and a wish list with the catalog index, directions for my basic toolkit to go and my compact desktop toolbox. I have so many people looking for my Evernote current products notebook that I have a new tab just for that. You can find out how to share my searchable catalog. You can go to SIP Together and you can find out how to join my team so that you can either save money or make money. Thank you for stopping by. Talk to you soon.